Hiya, just in the, there we are, new territory today for me. It's the northwestern fells, so I'm going to do 5 Wainwrights today. Doing the Coledale Horseshoe, so I'll just show you that on the map. Yeah. Right, so we're starting off just outside the village of Braithwaite here. Then we're going down. It's a long walk to the first one, so that's Grisedale Pike. Once we've done that, tuck in a little bit, and we're on side 2 of the map. And then we just go into, I always mark these up before I come on them. Going down here, and then on the other side again, so it's 2 sides, so Crag Hill, sail, Outerside, then over to Barrow, a little bit off the trail there, and then back to Braithwaite. Right, okay, it's our first target for today, Grisedale Pike. Let's go. It starts with a pretty steep ascent up through these very mossy birch trees. It's pretty steep up initially, but then levels out once you get about 400 yards up and you get to a much flatter bit, and that's the village down there already, so we've got some pretty good height. Once we've done this, it flattens out for a little bit and it's a straighter walk towards our first Wainwright of the day. If you've seen the video where I did Dodd, then this is Dodd just over here. So Skidaw's over in the background, and then over here, that's the other part of the woods where I came up, and then across the top. After that breathtaking start, you're on the rather flatter undulating bits. We'll get up here and be able to see our first target for today. Come through the gate and then just a straight walk up there to Grisedale Pike. Then we're hitting the other side of the ridge to come down back to the village again. You can tell these paths are a bit of a mess at the moment, and because it's so muddy, there's information around to help you out with staying on the path. They will put some rocks up here eventually, but erosion control is just trying to keep you on the path and stop you wandering off and making other new paths like this. So best to stick to the main ones, and then they can get eventually made into stone paths, and that'll stop people wandering off. This is the route I'm doing as I come up. So I've started in Braithwaite, this in the Northwest Fells book. Gone way up, it says hospital plantation there on the right, and looks like they're replanting that now. So it's just got some very small protected trees there. And we're going all the way up. It's a pretty gentle walk this, and we'll eventually get to Grisdale Pike there at the top. Looks like it gets a bit steeper towards the top and a bit of a scramble. It's gone pretty steep again. But once we're at height, I think we'll be pretty okay. For the rest of it, it is a bit up and down this route. As you can see from the ridges over there, I'll show you more at the top. But yeah, it's a bit up and down. Forgot to mention before, it's Boxing Day, so this is my Boxing Day walk. If you're not English, that's the day after Christmas Day, and it's when we traditionally give servants a box as a present, as in with things in it. Just the impressive view out to the valley behind me, and when we come back down, we'll be coming down those ones over there, and that's Outerside and Barrow. So that's part of where we're going today, along that ridge. And I think Grisedale Pike is just there popping up. It's dominating a little bit in the landscape there. And this is the plantation that we mentioned before, hospital plantation. So looks like that's still going. Looks pretty steep at the top. When I get to the top, I might have a sandwich. Given it's Boxing Day, guess what's on my sandwiches? Look, there's the river down there, snaking its way through the valley. I've got lucky today because it's sunny and there's no cloud on the tops. So that's Grisedale Pike. Got some good sun on it now, so hope it warms up. And we're going to walk around this side of the valley and then down there, back to the village. You can see what they mean about the erosion. There's like 4 different paths going on here. It's quite wide. I'll keep that to a minimum, and I do know that I'm adding to it, so I might do some conservation work to make up for all my treading around the Lake District. Just a bit of cloud coming in now, so I've changed to my rain jacket. I don't think it's going to rain hard, but don't want to walk around in a wet down jacket. A little bit higher up now, and this is like a heather bank, so if you were here in summer, well, that would be purple, and all that would be purple. Be a lot of bees bumbling around doing the business. We're about 3k into the walk now. Definitely becomes more solid as you go further up. That is the kind of stuff we're on, and a bit of the usual sort of shaly stuff. I'll say similar to conditions you're going to find on Skiddaw, and it's the same sort of largely convex shaped mountains. Yeah, we're just coming to one of those points now where getting a bit more of a view. That's a run straight up. Looks pretty steep, to be honest, so first 4k of this, it's pretty intense. Then hopefully it levels up. I'm just going to hit the main climb. I'm not sure I'll be able to get the drone out today, but maybe later on, because it's a bit windy, the wind's getting up. Clouds coming down. I'm just at the foot of the first climb up now to Grisedale Pike, and it looks pretty steep. It's a little bit busy today, but that's because it's Boxing Day, so everyone's out for a traditional Boxing Day walk. I'm going to walk off a bit of turkey. I'm starting that ascent now, and just a bit further down I just realised I hadn't understood how big that plantation was, but it's pretty significant. It's Skiddaw in the background over there, just like a little poke of Braithwaite Lake. But none of this is getting us up that hill, so let's get cracking. Little stars to the rainbow there, just showed us where the pub is. Forecast for today is a little bit of cloud and then sun by 3 o'clock, but it's just started snowing a bit. It's going to sleet all over me. I've now got to the very steep bit. It's almost a climb. Definitely a calf burner, this. Just have a little look at that. We need to burn the fatted calf. Lose a bit of Christmas dinner. This first bit that's 3.5k in now is become dead steep. I'm having a few breathers on the way up, which is unusual, but I'm not rushing it because it's also pretty slip slidey underfoot. So if you are doing this, just be careful. That's nice on Boxing Day anyway. Bit of snow. Gone a bit wintry. It's hailing on me, /snow /sleet. Top of Grisedale Pike's just here. It's at 791, so pretty high. Oh, what's this? Some little things sticking out of the ground. I don't know what they're for. Might be able to find it in the book later. Yeah, so at the top now, there's not a view out. It's been stolen from us, but it will be great. Wow, this has come out of nowhere. Right, let's try and get down here safely because it's a bit of a mess. Just to point out, the weather forecast for today was, got snowballs in my pocket. The weather forecast was cloudy a little bit, and then bright sun. But what we've got instead is quite high winds and sleet. So if you're coming out in the winter, make sure you take winter gear with you, because if I'd come with dress for the conditions, I'd be in trouble now. But as it is, I've got a spare jacket, I've got a bivvy bag with me, I've got all the gear, so it's totally fine. There's quite a few of these around, just evidence of the mining activity that's taken place around. This is just the way up to Hopegill Crag. It's not a Wainwright, but nevertheless we're going to go past it and then working our way towards Hopegill Head. In the books, the Wainwrights saying this area is heavily mined. I was thinking, it doesn't really look it, but when I was just wandering around, there's loads and loads of these little, must be to secure something. Right, so we're going to veer off now, we're going over to the right. That looks pretty cool. I like the effect the sun's doing there, coming through the clouds. I'm just going over to Hopegill Head. I was thinking of missing it out and started walking down the other path, but actually it's so nice that I think it's worth closer inspection. Look at the valley, especially when you've been walking in the cloud for a little bit and then you get a shot like that. It's great. I'm going to get the drone out for a bit. Getting towards Hopegill Crag now, nearly there, and the valley's just appearing and disappearing below me. Lots of what over there, down, just going up to Hopegill now, and maybe we'll get a view. The clouds like kind of going up and down, so when we've done this anyway, we are walking to a lower altitude. We'll definitely get some good views from there. Right, let's see what it's like from the top of here. It's a little shady path on the last ascent, and I think we're going over there. Little spooky mountains coming out there. Looks to be a pretty steep off if you were to go down there, so definitely is a crag. Pretty craggy. As we get to the top, that's the other valley that's opened up. And there's a little bit of clearance there. Oop. Just try and get over it. Yes, a bit on the wintry, slippy side. So we are at the top now of Hopegill. It's got a good old view around it. Yeah, I can see I was supposed to be here. This is part of the traditional horseshoe that we're doing. So we've been all around there. I know it's a bit in cloud, we've been around there. Right, I'm just working my way over to Crag Hill, so when you go over from there, I'm just going to follow that path and that'll take us there. Clouds lifting a little bit, but not fully, but I'm sure it will. There's the next cairn marker for us. So that's Sand Hill. So from here we're just going to work our way over to Crag Hill, but yeah, it's definitely opening up to us now. Look at that. Boom. Right, so I'm going to head over pretty much in a straight line. Good views out. Just as you come off there, there's this horrible scree area. It's really slippy underfoot, look at the state of that. So just trying to get down it, but it's tricky. But if you've got walking poles, bring them with you. It's getting down, but it's horrible. Ugh. Yeah, it's just all slack. It's really nothing solid at all. So yeah, bring walking poles if you've got them. But look, the good news is clouds lifted. Well, below it anyway, and the valley's opened up to us. You can see where we're going pretty much. So we're going up there now, then walking across the tops, and then we're back down to the bottom to the pub. Look at that, you can just see the mist fling into the side of the mountain there as it comes over. It's a little bit windy still, but you can just see all the fells behind me and the way the sun's striking them. It's really good. I'm getting towards this waterfall. I'm going to give you a shot down the valley. So if you do come down this way, you've got all this and these little waterfalls. It's a nice little gem in the middle of the walk, and we are about halfway around now. I might go on the waterfalls now. Just going to have a little sandwich. Also my Boxing Day sandwich. It's turkey, of course it is. The waterfalls are in full flow today. It's looking good. Right, so as you leave the waterfalls, you face this. It's a bit of a hike up. Looks a bit scrambly. So see how we get on. Now this stuff is loose. Look at that. It's just a state. It's really loose. It's pretty dangerous. A lot of slipping and sliding going on. Getting hot, and it is a climb. So if you're doing this, then just be prepared for a bit of scrambling, because this is pretty steep. I wasn't really expecting this, to be honest. I don't mind it, right, but it's not what I was expecting. You can see down there, look how steep it is. Oh, anyway, about 50 more yards to go and I'll be there. Right, I'm just up now. Another little bit to do to the top, but that essentially is it from here. A cracking view. After the scramble's a bit more to do. I'd say about another 200 feet, then you're at the top. It's not as mad as the scramble, but it's still pretty steep. As a horseshoe, this is like the hardest horseshoe done in the lakes. It's got all sorts on it. It's got scrambles on it, steep rises on it, steep up, steep down. It's got a waterfall on it, and it's got great views. So the valley back down is looking like that. It's definitely worth doing, but if you're doing it in winter, dress for the weather that's not forecast, because it is a bit mad. Right, so just passing this cairn, that'll be more or less at the top. It's pretty flat on the top. Good views to expect when we get up there. I'm going to go up to Crag Hill and then down to Sale. And just after Sale there's an interesting feature which I've seen on photographs, but I've never been here, so it's a very zigzaggy path. Looks pretty cool, so I'm looking forward to that when we get there. The river goes down there. This is the valley walk right round, and so we're going down that side and back to the village. Now then, after wandering around in the flat open space of this without really a guiding cairn, I finally found the tops. There it is, Crag Hill. I think if you're doing this walk, just I'd say it's like on the harder side of walks. It is for me today anyway. Feels like it. Might be because I'm full of Christmas dinner though. Right, so there we go. There's the pillar, although I believe that's the actual summit there. I'm just leaving the top now. So that was a steep up. So we're heading our way down, and the rest of the walk is pretty visible to us. So we're just dodding down. It's a little bit dodgy coming off here. It's pretty steep. Look at that though. Whoa. Can't do out to the valley. That's cracking. Right, so just head over to Sale there. Should be pretty straightforward to get off here. Once you get about halfway across, there's another tricky section, which is pretty steep and rocky. You're dropping about 30 feet pretty quickly. Just show it you. There you go. It's pretty severe. In the book, Wainwright's saying that sail is the least obtrusive of the 2,500 footers, being completely dominated by its vaster and more rugged neighbour, Eel Crag. I'm just doing a little climb up to sail now. It's quite up and down this walk, so it's not at all just walking at height. Just up here, and we'll be at the top, I think. It's just a little bit further on. Okay, just coming up on it now. That's the top of sail. Whew. Pretty flat on the top. A little bit of standing water, but cracking views. This spot, this pond's a little iced up. Okay, sail done. Right, so heading straight down, we're going to Outer, which is just in the distance over there. Pretty decent walk down. The path's all gravelly, and it's got that characteristic windiness as it goes up, which I was hoping for. So when I get the other side as well, I'll show you that so you can see what it looks like. Look at the steepness of that valley there. Look at that. It really has got some sharp valleys going on around here. It's really good. I've not been up here before, but yeah, it's really good. So if you're going to do this walk, it's only about 4 minutes drive from Keswick to where I'm started. So definitely worth popping out if you're in that area. It's pretty cool, this path as it goes down. It's a bit gravelly, so it is a little bit slippy, but it winds its way round, so it's a nice safe route. So if you've got, you know, if you're not a fan of craggy climbs, then this is a pretty decent walk. There's a good view of the valley over there as you come down. This windy path, by the way, just makes it really, really easy to come down. The winds take the steepness out of the hill if you're going direct. This half of the walk, from my experience so far, is a lot easier than the first half. And in fact, if you want to make this horseshoe a little bit smaller, when you get halfway around where the waterfalls are, you can then just take the river and just walk back. Obviously, because it's a river, it's pretty much flat, or just gently going down. So you can take the river back, not in the river obviously. There's a path at the side of it. There's a little tiny sheep pen just down there, and you can see the remnants of the mining work just in the distance over there. The mining around here is quite extensive, not that it really detracts from the landscape that much, and in fact when I was doing the Coniston walk, there's a copper mine about halfway up, and in the Wainwright books he says, you know, it's bits of old machinery, some buildings around, it can add a bit of interest to the walk and doesn't really take anything away, and it doesn't, because the natural spoilage is just the kind of colours you see anyway. There's a waterfall coming down there, and then you can see the mine. So, you know, it's an important industry for the area, and it still goes on today, but in this particular fell it's more for minerals, it's not slate mining. The hospital plantation is just over there where we started earlier on, so I'm in the last 5k of the walk. This is a lot easier than the first half. It's pretty flat now, unless something really weird happens. I'd say if you want a moderate hike, you know, you can do it this way round and just do half of it and then turn off at the waterfalls, follow the river back. But either way, if you're doing what I did as the first half, that's going to be tough either way. So yeah, especially if there's a unexpected snowstorm in the middle of your hike. So be prepared, because today's forecast, as I said, was a little bit cloudy with sunshine later on, and it was high winds and pretty much a blizzard conditions for about an hour. So yeah, it's the Lake District, so be prepared. Right now, and that's what it looks like on the approach that I'm coming. So I'm just going to nip up the middle of it. Doesn't look too high compared to where I am at the moment, so should be a fairly decent climb, and that's pretty much my last climb of the day. Now it's pretty steep. I feel like I've been saying that a lot today. But yeah, the walk is, as I mentioned, very up and down, but it's pretty innocuous walk, easy enough to get up there. Now, just arriving at the peak. So we're just going to go over there, cap off those two. I think the style end is next, and then we are there. So this is the little stretch I'm about to do. So go from Outerside down and then up to Stile End, and then down again to Barrow Door, then up to Barrow, and then we finish in the village. I'm not sure how well used this route is, it's pretty tight, but it is a maintained path. As I'm going over to Stile End now from Outsider, it's pretty boggy. So if you come in here, a pair of dry socks is what I'd recommend, or another pair when you get back to your vehicle. It's just this one I'm talking about, look at that. It's an absolute bog. It's been raining though, and it is December, so you know, that's what happens. But yeah, it is terrible, the path's all covered. Just getting to the top of Stile End now. It's I've been rushing this section a little bit because I'm pretty low on daylight. So from Outerside though, it's just a bit of a squelchy trod. So that's it down there. That's Outerside. So this is essentially what I'm going to do to finish. I'm going to well, I'll be at Barrow shortly, and then I'm going to head down the pass through the bracken and down to the village down here. Right, so nearly there, just got to get up to the top of Barrow first, and then we'll do that little trek down. It's pretty similar to the last down really was just done. It's just a bit muddy underfoot, stony but patchy with mud. You might wonder how many horseshoes there are in the Lake District. Well, it's just a valley walk really, around a river, so the river's just, you know, beyond me there. But this is the one in the book which has Outerside in it, and he's saying go Braithwaite, Grisedale Pikes, then over to Eel Crag, sail, and then you can take that Outerside one, Stile End and Barrow, which is how I'm finishing now. But that's not the horseshoe that you need to do. There's a few round here, it just depends what paths you want to take, to be honest. So how many horseshoes are in the Lake District, how long's a piece of string? It's just that there are some that are very popular and I've got maps and charts for them, and some are just not that well known. So yeah, they're just a valley walk, and you'll go in either side of the valley to complete the horseshoe. Top of Barrow is a bit more rocky than some of the other bits, so it's not quite as muddy as the Stile End. So just coming off the top now. That's a cracking view from the top there. We've only got a few minutes of light left, so just see what happens on the way down. So you can see quite a lot from the top, as you can see the lakes there. The village of Keswick will be over there. Braithwaite is just here, and then over there you've got Braithwaite Lake. If you're just walking up and doing a single mountain, that's a pretty good one to do. You've got really good views. I think it's going to be steep down this. I've never completed it before, so we'll soon find out. So as I'm finishing this walk, I'd just say it's fairly flexible. If you want to do an easy walk, then I'd start this way round and go to, work your way towards Stile End, get a couple of views up there, and then you can finish up to the waterfalls and then come back down to the village. If you want the full challenge, by all means go around the full thing, but it is tricky in places, and it is very up and down, so just be prepared for that. If you want something easier than this as a horseshoe walk when you're getting up and walking a valley, I'd probably recommend that you do the Fairfield Horseshoe. I have done a video on it, so if you want to, I'll put a link in. So if you want to have a look at that, have a look at it. It's pretty good. Go from Ambleside, or you can go from Grasmere. It depends either way. And if you want to cut that short with the low level walk like I did that day for the last mile or so, then you can pick up the Coffin route. But if you look at the video, it'll show you how to do that. So yeah, but I only came down that day not because I was tired. I came down because I ran out of light. Same situation as today, but that's walking in the winter for you. So hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, just click on the like, and if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, then just click on subscribe and you'll see the new videos come up. So happy trails, and I'll see you on the next one. Right, we're off to the pub now, so start having to think about what you want. There's nothing tap at the moment.